From horse-drawn ambulances to a massive 91% of the community donating to them, these volunteers continue to offer an essential service for thousands. Roxburgh St John, representing Central Otago District, sure have a story to tell. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage.
Good morning, my name is Tim Cadogan and I've got the privilege of being the Mayor of the iconic Central Otago District. Amongst the things everyone knows about Central is its wide open spaces and its extremes in temperature. These are just two of the elements that our Trustpower finalist has to contend with on a daily basis in serving the people of the Teviot Valley. Roxburgh St John is a small group covering a huge area. They're a dedicated bunch doing everything from training young cadets to attending high country rescues. To tell you about what they do, I'm proud to introduce Station Manager Joanne Ray and Chairman of the Area Committee, Doug Dance.
We in Roxburgh St John are not doing a one-off project, but are continuing on a voluntary, caring contribution to our community within an organisation that is 950 years in existence. The township is the hub of the Teviot Valley. The busy State Highway 8 runs through the centre of the valley, connecting Dunedin and Invercargill with Alexandra, Cromwell, Wanaka and Queenstown. Our total catchment population is around 2,000. Our first ambulance was a horse-drawn contraption that was operational after you caught the horses and harnessed them up, and was not health and safety registered. This was in 1911. This was in use for only 3 years and carried only 9 patients. It was withdrawn from service and sent to Dunedin. From between 1914 and 1949, there was no ambulance service in the community until construction began on the Roxburgh Hydro Dam. A town of about 3,000 people was created, and within the village, a fire service and 2 ambulances were provided for the workforce in the surrounding district. This was operational until the conclusion of the construction in 1960, but knowing we were going to lose the 2 ambulances, a public meeting was called for and a division of St John was established in 1957 after much training. In 1959, our first ambulance was purchased and delivered into the township by myself, and on the same night was used to carry a very ill woman to Dunedin Hospital, with myself as an orderly in the back and the local traffic officer as a driver, as no other drivers had been fully qualified at that time.
Thanks, Doug. Today's vehicles are certainly more modern and more comfortable, and they definitely go much faster. As Tim has mentioned, we cover a huge geographical area, which provides us with a wide variety of jobs, many of which involve working closely with the other emergency services in our area. Some of these jobs present challenges that require a bit of Kiwi ingenuity. The slide behind us shows a Land Cruiser that slid through a gateway at the top of the hill, over the edge of a farm track, rolled down the hill and onto the next level down on the steep winding track, stopped only from plummeting down another 150 metres by the scruffy manuka bushes that you can see under it. Due to the steepness of the track and torrential rain, our only means of access to the site was via the local Miller's Flat Fire Rescue's 4-wheel drive, with our gear thrown in the back along with their cutting gear. The vehicle was anchored with a huge chain to a large tractor before the roof could be removed and we could treat and extricate the young farm worker who was seriously injured. The Otago rescue helicopter landed on what seemed to be a spot barely big enough and flew our patient to Dunedin Hospital. It clearly wasn't this young man's time to go, and even though he's still undergoing treatment months later, we're all absolutely delighted to hear of his marriage a couple of weeks ago. The next 2 slides give another illustration of our coverage area. Last winter you may have followed the media coverage of the 38 4-wheel drive enthusiasts, including 2 children, who were stranded 5,000 feet up on top of the Old Man Range. We formed part of the ground crew. In the second amazing photo, the line along the centre of the photo is where a bulldozer created a track to get the vehicles out. While the majority of our work is emergency ambulance care, we also cover a wide variety of events events, amongst them covering home games for our senior rugby team. Our crew of 11 work on a totally volunteer basis. We all have families and are in paid employment. If you come to our wonderful Teviot Valley, chances are that if you need an electrician, buy fruit from a roadside stall, taste the yummy baking at one of the local cafes, visit the rest home, or even open a bank account, you'll come across one of us.
Thank you, Joe. The Roxburgh St John has a very busy, active youth division, with 8 penguins from 6 to 9 years of age and 14 older members to form a great youth group that teaches and trains the younger members teamwork, life skills and discipline. All our youth leaders are volunteers, and with the help of the older youth members, they create a caring, disciplined unit. The older youth members take part in the community events and are training up with badge work to the ultimate St John Youth Prize, the Grand Prize Badge. This is equivalent to the Duke of Edinburgh Award and is awarded by the Duke of Gloucester, a very good compliment to have in your CV. Governance at Roxburgh St John is carried out by the Area Committee, a small group of volunteers who combined service total 207 years. They meet regularly and provide funding and support for the operational events and youth members of the Roxburgh St John. This allows for the operations side of the organisation to carry on their most important role of caring for the sick and the injured without too many encumbrances, and all are in a voluntary capacity for our community.
One of our most popular community events is running discount price community first aid courses. These are run to encourage as many as possible to learn skills that could potentially save a life and also help the participants gain the NZQA qualification, workplace first aid qualification. Thousands of hours go into training and obtaining qualifications each year so that we can best care for our community and the travelling public. We have an amazing crew, and their team spirit was very much to the fore when Belinda shone putting new recruit Jack through his paces had baby Tyler. At 2 weeks of age, Tyler was diagnosed with biliary atresia, and they were told that without a liver transplant, she wouldn't survive. This photo was taken at Starship Hospital shortly after the diagnosis. As soon as we got the news, the crew swung into action, organising a garage sale that turned into a massive event, raising over $7,000. The whole community got in behind the event to the extent that we had to move the vehicles elsewhere and put a marquee up in the backyard to house all of the donated items. I think every household gave and then turned up to buy it all back again. This is Tyler today after 2 liver transplants, one from her mother. She's a gorgeous, mischievous 2-year-old who never goes anywhere without her red band gumboots. Our win in this award has been dedicated to our very good friend Deborah Cubitt. Deb had a huge thirst for knowledge and was our training officer. She was one of the first to put her hand up as a qualified ambulance officer to travel to Christchurch immediately after the February 2011 earthquake to help. Sadly, Deb was diagnosed with cancer and after just 10 months slipped away. She's left a huge gap in our organisation and our hearts. This slide shows Deb in action, helping to load a patient onto the rescue helicopter. Thanks for having us. It's a huge privilege to be here with you all.